To Ben Amarfio. Ben, welcome to South Africa. How was the chat this morning?
It was wonderful. We heard from the chairman of La Liga, and I've got to say, there can't be that many sports around the world where the chairman is talking about digital strategy. You know, you would expect that from a digital expert or from a marketing expert or a brand expert, but to hear a chairman of a sports league speak that articulately about digital strategy was amazing. Amazing.
Ben Amarfio is from Cricket Australia. Speaking of brand and marketing, we obviously have to, put in comparison the Big Bash and what you guys have done over in Australia with what it is, the model that it is today, how it is viewed, watching it, from graphics to cameras and everything that goes around the production and marketing of the Big Bash. What sort of tips would you leave here in South Africa? Because we have, or for the past couple of years, had issues of our own when it comes to modeling or branding when it comes to our T20 challenge.
Yeah, I think it starts with understanding, having a very, very clear understanding of what your goal is. And for us, it was all about attracting new fans to cricket. We saw that about 6 or 7 years ago, it was 7 years ago, research was showing that we weren't connecting with the youth. We were connecting with middle-aged guys in Australia, but we weren't connecting with women, we weren't connecting with kids, we weren't connecting with families. And so that wasn't a problem for us at the time, but we saw that it would be a problem for us in 10 years' time or in 5 years' time. So that gave us the impetus to say, right, what can we do about this? What can we do about making cricket more entertaining or creating an entertainment, sportainment type version of cricket? And that was the Big Bash. We didn't invent T20 domestic cricket, the English invented it. We just like to think that we did a really good job of making it work for us. And it's been a phenomenal success. I think it's now the 5th biggest sports league on the planet, and that's not bad after 6 years. The things for us is that strategy around being very single focused about it being for families and being for kids and being for women flows through everything. Through our branding, through our pricing strategy, through our scheduling. We schedule particularly around school holidays. It's around even our commercialization strategy. We won't have, to date, we've resisted having alcohol brands or gambling brands associated with the Big Bash because it is about families. So we try and make it very family friendly, female friendly, kid friendly, and that has been the real essence of what we've been about.
Speaking of the families, then we have to tap into the different cultures, the different cultures in Australia, the cultures in South Africa, where we, most sports associate so certain beverages and alcohol beverages that, have long stood in sport in South Africa. Do you think maybe we should start looking away from those sort of things, associating those sort of brands, because we've got now, a betting company, sports betting companies sponsoring some of our cricket teams?
Well, I mean, it depends on the organisation. For us, BBL was about family. International cricket is more about young eventers. It's about traditional cricket followers. It's about a very different audience than what we had for Big Bash. So what works for one part of cricket, we wouldn't say would work for other parts of cricket. So we have alcohol brands. We have gambling, sports wagering companies involved in international cricket, and they're our biggest and best supporters. But we have them in the right facets and the right places of our different sort of spheres of cricket.
We speak of Big Bash, and often enough we always speak of the unfortunate kid in the room, which is Test cricket, which also needs a bit of attention. Are there sort of models that you or do you use the same models in terms of marketing, digital strategies in Big Bash that you tap into the Test cricket? Because I personally know that you guys don't struggle selling tickets for Test cricket.
No, we don't. We've just started checking this morning. We've got the Ashes this summer coming up, and our ticket sales, we went on sale on the 1st of May, and we've broken every record we've ever had. So why is that? It could be because of the anticipation of we've got a young and up-and-coming Australian team playing a young and up-and-coming England team under Joe Root. It could be about that. It could be about the fact that we don't have the Ashes at the moment. It could be about the fact that we're riding the crest of a wave of the Big Bash, and that people who are interested in Big Bash are now starting to gravitate to international cricket, which was part of our plan anyway. We were hopeful that some of that audience, or more than some of the audience of Big Bash, would gravitate to international cricket. And you know, we had our biggest summer ever last year. We had 1.8 million people through the gates. You know, and we're hoping to do well again this year. And the ticket sales to date have been great. Test cricket is doing very well in Australia, and I think for a number of reasons. We were the first to institute day-night cricket, and that's been phenomenal for us. Absolutely phenomenal, both at match experience and also for TV as well. The TV viewership has been very strong. So I think we've got to continue to evolve and continue to understand that Test cricket needs to be an entertainment product as much as it is about it being a sports or cricket product.
And lastly, you know, because we speak of now, you know, viewing a match at home, you know, HD, you know, there's the comfort of your couch, you know, with everything that you need at your disposal at home, you know, versus going to the actual stadium. How do you then separate it, or rather, how do you know, take that person out of his home and bring him to the stadium? Because we speak of stadium experience, you speak of, you know, bums on seats. How do you bring that all together, bearing in mind the different cultures, you know, the different sponsors, you know, associated with that event?
Well, you've got to play up the aspects of Test match cricket. If it's about Test match cricket, you're talking about that you can't experience sitting at home on your sofa. You know, a couple of things we did last year, in addition to the day-night cricket, we're changing the activities and the at-match experience. And I'll give you a couple of examples. A couple of years ago in the Sydney Test, we took out 2 bays of seating and we put sand. We built a beach and we built a swimming pool. And last year we did that at Brisbane. We built a deck and we built a swimming pool.
We also have a swimming pool at Superstore Park in Centurion. It's always a sellout.
Well, there you go. Another thing we did was about the food. You know, and you talked about different cultures. For us, it was about, okay, well, that we're very limited in the sort of food and beverage we can have in the stadium. So what we did is, outside the stadium, with the cooperation of the venue, we built what we called our field of flavours. And so we had Pakistani food, Indian food, African food, Middle Eastern food. You know, we had foods from all around the world.